Sam, and this is my spoiler-free review of To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. This is a YA contemporary story, and it is of our main character, Laura Jean, and she writes love letters to every guy that she's ever loved before. Really, it's every guy that she's had a crush on. She writes love letters to them, and then she puts them in a box and forgets about them, and that's her way of kind of letting go of this crush. Well, one day, her box of love letters gets sent out, and everything kind of goes from there. So that is the premise that I heard when I first heard about this book, and that is true. But there's a lot more to this than just that, and I think that this is more about the family relationships in this book than anything else. So first let me talk about our characters. Laura Jean is an interesting character for me personally. Laura Jean is very naive, very innocent, and she's very young feeling to me. A lot of times I'm reading YA, contemporary or fantasy, whatever, I feel like the characters are more mature. I forget that they're like 16, 17, 18, you know, I feel like they're like 25. But with this, I knew she wasn't 25. I knew she was like 16, 17, however old she is in this. I forget how old she is. But I could definitely tell she does things that are very immature and you just kind of want to shake her a little bit. She also has a speech pattern that I feel is a little more immature. She calls her parents mommy and daddy, which is fine. I say that to my own parents sometimes and I'm 25. But she does it every time she talks about them, and that got a little grating to me. I just don't personally love a very, very innocent character like this, and she is like the epitome of innocent in the way she dresses and how she thinks and how she handles situations. She's very socially awkward, so there's things that I feel like she would appeal to other people who can kind of see that in themselves. I was never quite that character as a teenager, not that I was like some wild child or anything, I wasn't, but I had a very good grasp on reality and how the world worked as a teen. For the most part, all teenagers are kind of, you know, we don't know it all, but we think we do. But for the most part, I was pretty good. Alright? I was pretty good. So, her reality being a little more sheltered, a little more closed off was very, like, weird to me. And she did things where I kind of wanted to shake her a bit. She also has two sisters, and the big thing here is the sister dynamics in this book. So her older sister is going away to college, and Laura Jean is a middle child, so she kind of feels like she has to take on some responsibility. She's very, very close with her older sister. She feels like she's in her shadow. She misses her, all these kinds of things. She also has a younger sister who is a bit of a brat, you know, has the baby syndrome, and is kind of a handful and everything else. Also, their father is in the picture, and he is a very interesting character too, because he's kind of one of those dads that's been like flooded with girls in his house his entire life, and he just kind of seems like he has almost like a hands-off approach sometimes, and it's really like this sister bond is the biggest thing in this story, and how she's handling the loss of her sister going to college, and how her life is changing, and how she's growing up and kind of finding herself and everything. There are also some love interests in this book, and that was kind of interesting to me. It's a love triangle and kind of not. I feel like every time I talk about a book these days, it's kind of a love triangle, kind of not. Like, I've been reading a lot of like vague stories, I guess, with love triangles these days, but that was interesting. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, and that made it okay for me, and I'm interested to see what happens in the next story. So as far as the plot, it was interesting to me, but I also had some problems just like getting interested in it. It was fairly fast-paced, like a normal contemporary, but at the same time it wasn't. It was very slow, so when I wasn't reading this book, I didn't really have a desire to pick it up. But when I did start reading, I wanted to keep reading. It was a weird phenomenon, because usually when you like want to keep reading a book, you don't want to put it down, you keep picking it back up. Like, this wasn't that way. If I put it down, I was fine for a while. So it was kind of this like weird pacing thing, and I cared about the characters a little bit, but not a ton, and I cared about Laura Jean, but like I also found her a little bit grating, so I wasn't really sure I wanted to read about her. Yeah. I'm very torn on my feelings about this book. So overall, I give it about a 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought some things were well done. The characters did mature over time as far as the book went on, but I'm not in a huge hurry to pick up the next book. The next book is called P.S. I Still Love You, and it is coming out, I think, in the next couple of months or so. I think it's a summer release. So I don't really want to pick it up right now, but I want to pick it up eventually. Very torn on this book. So comment down below and let me know how you felt about this book, if you have read it, and what your thoughts were. I know Jenny Han has a very big following, and that she's very well loved, so comment down below and let me know what you think. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!